Welcome to the incredible Rockets Round Robin. I got my man, the drip guard, Mr. Preston Simpson in the house. What's happening, my guy?
Man, after a long day and a brother's birthday, shout out Noah. He just turned 21, man. I had to get him that alcohol, that little thingy thing, make him feel right. We here on the show, and it's late. I'm tired. I know AK tired, but you can tell he got the glasses on. But I'm good, man. Let's talk Rockets.
All right, man. All right, bro. After letting ourselves cool down a little bit after the end of the series against the Lakers, I think we can kind of more clearly discuss our thoughts on the season, preseason projections with Fred, without Fred, with Steve O, and Steve O got hurt and all that. We can go through all that. I don't know which one of these you want to touch on first. Let's go ahead and start with preseason expectations with Fred. Let's go ahead and start there, bro, before we start building out to wherever the hell we going.
Okay.
What was your first thoughts when we first acquired KD and we assigned DFS, we signed Clint Capella, we retained Steven Adams, Tari Eason didn't get his extension, but we can touch on that a little bit later too. Barry got his extension. Fred got his deal redone pretty much.
Yep.
Opted out, and then the little 1+1 deal that he did. What were your expectations with the roster healthy before ish hit the fan?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was CLB, right? We had Kevin Durant. They said we're here to compete with the championship. They said we're here for not a good time, but a long time, and need to make KD's window matter. They was feeding us all this.
Not a long time, but a good time.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's another thing. I forgot. KD signed his extension too. So
Yep. So
the extension kicks in next season.
Mm-hmm. Got 2 more years, right? We see how it goes. So KD here, they had the big presser. It was all like smiles, and I mean, you remember what that presser looked like, bro? I was so ready for it. Even before Fred got hurt, I guess it was.
Damn right, it's KD.
Yeah, man, it's Kevin Durant, man. You know who he is, and so just championship, and regardless of how the season went, we touched up heavily on that. It's not going to look so good right away. They have to gel. It's not 2K. They have to do this. We talked about that ad nauseum. And the first month and a half, 2 months, that looked to be true. We looked good, but there were some things we had to iron out. There were some glaring flaws. But regardless, right, before we start playing, championship or bust. We got Kevin Durant. The front office believed that the team was ready to compete at a high level, regardless of the circumstances. Championship or bust.
Hey, dog. Hey, that's funny, bro. But what you don't know is Adam Silver is the police, so he ain't going nowhere. Oh, nice. My goodness, that's a good one. God, dog, that's a good one. That made my day. But for clarity, bro, can we clarify what we meant by championship or bust? Because some people kind of got it misconstrued what that means. Some people want to attach their own meaning to it. So can we clarify for the people who may not understand?
Well, hopefully my definition isn't different than yours, right? But I always thought the idea of it was, hey, we're going to go all in. It's Kevin Durant. You have to maximize the window of your star player at any cost, and this offseason, and we'll touch up on it, but this offseason and the articles coming out are kind of geared towards that, the next piece. What holes are we trying to plug? That kind of thing, right? We saw the issues. We had some problems. So what's the next domino to fall to go ahead and get that next player, right? That's kind of what I thought with championship or bust, right? When it comes down to pushing all your chips forward.
And that's if that next player isn't already on the roster, right?
Uh-huh. Yep. You're right.
I'm just curious because, I thought the next player was on the roster.
Well, when you score 78 points in a playoff game and Bam Adebayo outscores our entire team by himself, and he wasn't even playing against us, right? I would say, probably not. Probably missing something for sure.
Yeah. But we're gonna touch on that, the playoff stuff. We're gonna touch on that.
Yep,
but for sure, my whole definition of the whole championship or bust thing was not necessarily that getting KD was necessarily all in. It's the fact that you're getting KD at age 37. He's not coming here because he doesn't think he's gonna win a championship. He's coming here because he wants to get one more. He want to get at least one more under his belt. For what reason would he just come over here with Ime Udoka and a team that was just the second seed a season previous? Why would he come here and think that there would be any less expectations in his time? For what reason? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all, especially when you consider the team has all these assets and you got the nerve of some people to sit there and say, we're not going to go get anybody. So what's the point of having all of these assets if you're not going to go get, if you don't plan to go get nobody? Why you got all these assets for? So you just going to sit on them? That's what we're doing? That's what we're going to just sit on them, right? Which is also confusing because we're going to touch on this now. Fred gets hurt, tears his ACL before the season start. So it's not like it was during the season. It was an off season. They went to wherever the hell they went, training camp. He rips his knee up. And now, I ain't going to say CLB kind of starts, but this is kind of where it opens up that window of opportunity for two guys in particular, Amen Thompson and Reed Shepherd. Those are the two guys, come hook or crook. Those are the two guys that need to take over that lead guard role and make Fred, I ain't going to say make Fred obsolete, but make him a luxury instead of a necessity. Because the way we use Fred, the way we see Fred as an organization, he almost like the franchise player.
Who is we? Not we. Not
I'm talking about, talking about the way he get treated, bro. The way he gets spoken about by the front office, by fans.
It's crazy. Especially
some certain fans with access. You know who I'm talking about. some of y'all really got a little thing for Fred. I get it. Fred is a cool dude. I like Fred, actually. I just don't think that the way we using him is doing him any favors, to be honest. But anyway, Fred tears his knee. So now it's all about, okay, which one of these young guys is going to step up and take their place and make sure that when Fred does come back, his ass is coming off the bench and he's not needed to start anymore. To me, that was really what the story of the season was after Fred gets hurt. Even though I wouldn't have been shocked if we would have made it to the Western Conference Finals, because if these guys are who we thought they was, I would expect Western Conference Finals. No excuses. I don't care about none of them weak-ass excuses some people talking about. But that was championship or bust for me. Like, it's during the KD era. The KD trade was not made just so we can have a glorified Hall of Fame babysitter to bring these young guys along. That wasn't the point of grabbing Kevin Durant. It wasn't. You can't convince me of that. It doesn't make sense. Yep. And if they did that thinking that, it's bad front office end. It is. It's bad management on the front office end. It doesn't make sense. You already screwed up the development of all these guys because you got too many guys to develop at once. And then now you're going to mess up the timeline. You got the super veteran Hall of Fame player who's trying to get rings. You got these young bucks that ain't been developed right in the first place. And you expecting KD to come over here and carry these guys to championship? Or are you expecting one of these guys to somehow, some way emerge as the franchise player, which ended up not happening. But anyway, before I keep rambling, Fred tears his knee. What's your thoughts as soon as Fred tears his knee?
I thought it was an opportunity specifically for Reed Shepherd, right? Because Reed didn't get much playoff time. He played 4 minutes the entire playoffs against Golden State. I was ready for him to come in year two and kind of prove himself. You know, not that it was a make it or break it year for him. He's year 2. He's a guard. Guards are in my opinion, the toughest
highly
to
touted
develop,
guard.
Yes, okay, right. From Kentucky, right? But in my
Right.
opinion, guards are the hardest to develop.
Yes.
Especially when you're trying to develop multiple skills at once instead of letting them hyper focus on a single skill, right? You are asking Reed to set the table, theoretically, for a veteran who has played with Devin Booker, Chris Paul, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry. I mean, and if you want to say it, Draymond Green too. He's a table setter.
Most definitely.
He had all-time playmakers his entire career, except when he goes to Phoenix. They finally trade Chris Paul. I hated the trade, but they trade Chris Paul. They don't have a point guard their entire time. It's a whole problem. He comes here where supposedly Fred VanVleet is Chris Paul 2.0. He gets hurt, like you said, and now we don't have a geared up point guard. They were raising Reed Sheppard as his combo guard off the bench constantly, making him play the 2 instead of the 1 and forcing him to play outside of his natural role. Okay.
Amen Thompson too. Amen Thompson was also drafted to be a point guard. Let's not do revisionist history here.
100%. So now we got Amen Thompson and Reed Sheppard, 2 guys who did not play a lot of point guard. Like they might have been in the role getting minutes as a point guard, but they did not play the point guard role while they were out there for a majority of last season, right? So then you come into this season, no Fred VanVleet. They're expecting Amen Thompson to come in and average 7 assists per game because he started averaging 6.5 when he started for that little bit of stretch when they put Barty on the bench. Cool. That doesn't tell me much. Okay. A little stretch of 5 games is really great, but when it's less than 8% of the entire season, that does not tell you the entire story, right? So he starts, we go to overtime with OKC. Okay. That looked good. That was probably the best we looked all season.
That was a hell of a game too, boy. Like that game, even in a loss, it had a lot of us excited, bro.
There was everything of last season that flowed into this season. Your star got ejected. Your guys were trying to, take the ropes. We forced OKC into that, that OT, which was just absolutely insane, off some clutch buckets from every single player on the team. Right? That's what we were asking for. So
Şengün hit 5 threes. We was all like, hey, hold on, wait a minute now. We cooking with grease now. Hold on.
Instead, the grease burnt up after that game. Now it's old grease. And we poured it down the drain.
Disrespectful.
Now we poured it down the drain. And you know what happens? You pour grease down your drain, right? It no good. Now you clogged up. You have to get in there and get new parts and all that. You gotta clean out your entire system, right?
God.
Unfortunately, we didn't clean out the system. We just let it gunk up all year. It just gunked up. And then when we said, hey, we need this piece that is very glaring, okay? We just need this one piece to kind of help mellow out the offense. Okay, that's what we're asking for. Just get something to kind of help out the offense. And their idea was throwing, we'll just pour some more grease down the drain, and that grease will wash out the other grease. It'll be fine. Well, now your pipe's getting ready to burst come February. It's not looking good. Anyway, Fred VanVleet gets hurt. Reed Sheppard, and man, we're supposed to kind of show out as like these lead point guards that didn't have time to develop as an actual point guard. Like they were drafted for that position, but they didn't train at that position, if that makes sense, Yeah. So there was no developmental minutes. Now you're trying to develop 2 players, one who's in year 2, the other's in year 3, right? Trying to develop 2 guys at the same time in the same role that they've never really played at the NBA level, next to Kevin Durant. Right.
Man, that sounds like a lot to deal with. So you telling me the developmental process that the team had in mind, or that the team had in place, you can probably argue hurt these guys more than it helped them.
Name me one player that's come out of this Houston Rockets developmental process in the last 7 years that has grown to be exactly what they were promising. Okay, no, let me not say exactly. Showed the flashes, plus proven the developmental process was working. You can't name one player.
We don't have a blue chipper. Of all the we drafted a lot of players. Don't have a blue chipper.
Yep.
Okay, people gonna say Alperen Şengün 2 All-Stars. Okay, It's cool. It's cute. But we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. I'm not going to touch that right now. We're going to touch that a little bit later. When we get to the playoffs, we're going to touch that a little bit later. But, yeah, man, I don't think what's the name? I don't think the team put anybody in position to be successful from day one. Like, nope. You look at a lot of these other rookies that have come out and, and developed and kind of did their thing. The teams not only were those players put in position to do what they did best off top, so they can nurture those things, but they put the players in place around them to help them do just that. They put a coaching system and a scheme around them to do just that. I mean, bruh, you mean to tell me how many lottery picks do we have? It was Jalen, it was Jabari, Amen, Reed Shepard.
14 is the lottery, right? Or is it 12?
14. It's 14.
Was Tai or Usman?
No. They wouldn't lottery.
They were just first round. All right, okay, yeah.
But we had, and these are all top 4 picks, bro.
I mean, we had 2.
We didn't pick no later than 4 in the lottery, and no less than between 2 and 4, bro. So a number 2 pick, 2 number 3 picks, and a number 4 pick. And I understand that it's still kind of early in the process here. You can't really tell what nobody's going to be this early, but I'm not seeing even flashes of what I was promised. Closest thing to it was Jalen. Jalen had those marches that everybody claimed he was only good in, but ain't nobody came close to that. Nobody has come close. Nobody has sniffed them marches. Nobody has. They haven't. I'm just keeping it a beam, bro. Just
Can I ask you a question?
What's up? What's up?
March Jalen rookie year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was like that. Wow. Like this is the guy, right?
Oh, yeah. They started showing him on graphics with Allen Iverson and other rookies and stuff. Like, oh, okay. Right. Yeah. This is what we're looking for.
Has any player touched rookie Jalen March?
No, nobody. And then on top of that, even then, Jalen wasn't really put in position to succeed because they was putting KPJ at point guard, and Eric had to start Eric Gordon and all that. So it was like nobody was drafted and immediately put in position to, hey, you go do what you go do best. Following year, we draft Jabari. We thinking he's gonna be the perfect complement to Alper Sengun and Jalen Green. What does Silas say? We don't even run plays for Jabari. What? What did you say? All right, cool. Wow. Following year, we draft Amen Thompson to be a point guard. All right, cool.
No, point guard of the future.
Point guard of the future. All right, cool. Now, in his defense, he got drafted under Ime Udoka, and he was I think he was hurt in the beginning of the season. Then he got sick, and then he started to come on later on in the season. And then we started to try to make that little run. He started to start. Forgot we had some injuries. Then he was in the starting lineup for a little bit. We started to make a little run with him in the starting lineup. Him and Jalen had some really good chemistry, I tell you. They had some really good chemistry. They went on that 11-game win streak where I think Sengun even got hurt in the win streak, and we still kept chugging it along, trying to get back in the playoffs. I'm talking every game was pretty much do or die because we had to win and win and win if we wanted to make the play-in. Remember, that was the year we went 41-41 and missed the play-in. Can you imagine that? Not even the play. We missed the play-in going 41-41. But Amen Thompson wasn't playing point guard necessarily. He was really just playing off the ball as a cutter, a screener, and out of the dunker. Yep. So you mean to tell me you drafted this guy at number 4 who was supposed to be your point guard and of the future, and you just gonna have him playing out the dunker? I don't know where the potential is in that. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't see a high enough ceiling in that. And we're seeing a pattern with the development of this team, especially under Ime Udoka. All right, cool. Reed Shepard, he gets drafted. He gets no playing time as a rookie. Yeah, he was kind of rough even when he did play, But he went down to the G League. He was 10 up in the G League. All right, cool. This year, Fred's hurt. You would think, Reed would get, starting lineup duty more often than not. That didn't happen. But he did get his minutes up. He had some games here and there where it was like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Ooh, what a knockout. My bad. I'm watching UFC right now. Ooh, that was nasty. But yeah, Reed Shepherd showed a little bit of something. But again, nothing came close to that even rookie Jalen Green March. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Didn't have a stretch. He had a game here and there, but it wasn't a stretch. So there's that. We can even touch on Alperen Sengun and his development. And Tari Eason, I think Tari Eason has been what we expected. From day one to now, he's kind of been what we expected. A chaotic 3-and-D guy who's going to play with energy, play with great defense, and hit some shots, every now and again. So Tari, I'm actually fine with. If Tari is the same player in year 10 as he is right now, I'm fine with it. Tari is going to be a player that helps teams win throughout his whole career. I ain't even worried about Tari. But Sengun's development too. This is a passing big man. He wants to pass first, second, and third, and he's going to score second. Yes, he got some post up to him. He got some footwork to him on offense. The touch at first started to look all right, and then I don't know what happened. The touch just died last year and this season.
Yep.
I don't know if it's. I don't know what that's about.
He doing too many ballerina twirls, bro. He's just not trying to take it to the cup, man. He be trying to anyway.
It's crazy. In his two least efficient seasons was the seasons he went to the All-Star game. I thought efficiency was the end-all be-all, but hey, what do I know? Anyway, that's what I was told. But Alperen Sengun, he hasn't been optimized. Alperen Sengun is somebody you need to be using as a hub, and if he gets one-on-one coverage in the right matchup, then you can try to spam him in the post. We didn't do that. We tried to pick and roll him, try to use him like I don't know. They thought he was Giannis or something. He doing too much hezzy, tween, step back, hezzy again, drive to the basket, and throw up some nonsense that just won't go in. I don't understand where that's coming from. But again, if the same thing is happening over and over and over with talent after talent after talent after talent, you can no longer blame the talent at some point. You got to look at the organization. You just have to.
Yep.
Ime Udoka's coaching philosophy is coaching to avoid weaknesses, damn the strengths. He has no clue how to try to get guys to touch their ceiling. He's just too busy with trying to make sure people avoid their floors. And to me, I think that has been a huge hindrance on all of these young guys, because when you're young, you're supposed to be going head first into the wall to see how hard you got to hit it to bust that thing open.
Yep.
And we didn't. Instead of doing that, they got training wheels on these guys, and they haven't been let loose. You can't tell me that they're supposed to run this read and react offense. Okay, cool. Read and react. Reporters, there's questions you can ask about that. You know that, right? Okay, what are they supposed to read? What are they supposed to read, and how is it that you want them to react to those reads? Give us an example. Give us an instance where it was done right. Give it an instance where it wasn't done right. You're running a veteran. You're trying to run this veteran offense for these young guys. Good luck with that, Mr. Ime Udoka, which is why I believe there will be some decisions that get made as soon as this summer. There was one already got made last year. Another one finna get made. But anyway, here we are. So here we are. Now that we kind of got the whole development stuff up out of the way, the season, the ebbs and flows. What were your thoughts? What are some of your highs during the season? What are some of your lows? What did you like? What did you not like so much? Talk to me a little bit about that.
It's funny that we lose our most inconsistent player, as they say, to have the most inconsistent season we've had since Silas was here. Like
I didn't even think about that.
Like the highs were so high, man, and the lows were so low. And I thought he was shackling
I don't think
everybody.
the highs were that high, bro. This season,
I'm talking those 3-game stretches, man, where it was like, wow, we scored 148 points. Wow, this is that offense, and it's like we shot 74% and actually hit all.
We
of our
did have a
threes,
9-game win streak, though.
Yeah, we did towards that like middle-ish end of the year, and then we dropped, and that's how we got our 50 win season. But like it's just like the highs were just like insane, you know. And Amen dropped 42 also, you know, like that was a really great game. I love to see that energy and that effort. Dropped his first 40 bomb of his career, you know. Shangun didn't drop 40 this year. I was kind of surprised. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just
Okay,
we lost that game.
Yep.
Wasted his career game.
So, and I was also told that scoring 40 in a loss don't mean nothing. So, my bad, I guess. KD dropped 40 a couple times. That was really cool, but I expect KD to do that. You know, like not that I expect him to drop 40 plus constantly, but it's like, all right, cool. Yeah, he gonna get a couple 40 pieces here or there because it's coming around. It don't matter what offense he in, he gonna be 26, 5 and 5, no matter what until he did.
Very transferable skill set, no matter what team he's on.
But it don't matter how well of a skill set you can just transfer one team to another. If the team still got shit on it, and you put a little gold on it, team's still shit. It don't matter. You know what I mean? And I'm referring to not the team necessarily, but like the offensive scheming, right? Specifically is what I'm attacking here. But no, I mean, there was that. And then, goodness, the lows. I mean, gosh, where do I even start with that? Matter of fact, I've been bothering everyone about this, and you remember this, bro. When we lost to the Spurs, man, they gave the map to beat us. And every team that beat us for 2 months straight did the exact same thing the Spurs did. And you all know what it was? Played a little bit harder than us. That was it. Just a little bit harder. Didn't have to make their shots. Didn't have to
that was the only thing, bro.
All they had to do was just play a little bit harder than us. All they coached did, because Ime's adjustment halftime is, hey, go hit a dude. Hey, don't be that's it. You know, we just can't be out here running like that, you know. Their coach's halftime is like, all right, cool. So you seeing how they shooting the ball and their whole game is offensive rebounds. Cool. Box them out and see what happens. We lose.
That was the key thing, though. You missing something.
What am I missing?
Putting centers on Amen Thompson.
They beat us last year.
Easiest adjustment. We couldn't find ways to play teams out of that, and it's not hard to find a way to play a team out of there, bro.
You know what's funny? Is when they put Amen on a center, right? Or they put a center on Amen, right? We were still running Adams and Şengün lineups. So it made it even easier for them, right? If I'm a head coach and my front office said, hey, we'd like you to run these 3-man offenses that don't have a shooter in 2026 because we think it's best. I'm looking dude dead in his eye and telling him, no, don't.
For like long stretches too.
We started that lineup in the playoffs. We started that lineup in the regular season. In the playoffs, at least we had Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet. We got KD out there running around with.
Now, I don't think we started that lineup in the playoffs. I think we started.
We did
in the second half. We started this season with that lineup.
In the playoffs, when they sent Jabari to the bench and they started Amen, we ran Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Amen, Adams, Şengün. The last 2 games, 6.
Dylan was starting.
You're right. Never mind.
Dylan was starting. You thinking about the first game against OKC where we ran that stupid double big.
Yeah, you're right.
And we scored all them points, but people were forgetting the cap that was behind them all them points. We got so many more possessions. Why? We was missing shots. And then you got the alien that makes everything. He makes all these tough shots, so it makes the offense look like it's going good, like it's running well. Meanwhile, it's not. He just is good at making tough shots. It doesn't matter what defense you're playing on him.
Shout out Greg Popovich. All it took him was getting in the film room one time, and now they whooping the Wolves up and down the court, bro. Wemby dropping 39, 15, and 5.
He said Greg Popovich.
Yeah, bro. Greg got in that film room, right? As the owner, they said, hey, after they lost game 1, right? The Wolves won game 1.
Yeah.
The Wolves have not been able to do anything since Popovich went in there and talked to them. That was it. That's called good coaching and experience, wisdom, being able to understand your players, put them in spots to succeed, not just offensively, but defensively. Tell me to play harder don't mean nothing when I'm playing as hard as I can. I'm around sweating out, giving 110%. You ask me to play harder. I'm giving all I got, coach. And I know you want me to push myself. That's cool. Can you give me an idea of what to do? Can you give me direction?
Playing hard is not a strategy.
Really?
It's not. It's not a strategy because
But we
if
won
another
50
team,
games, man.
if all another team has to do is match your energy, then you're cooked.
Did
You must strategize at some point.
Did we win any game that a team played just as hard as us?
No,
Gave it their all?
no.
Yeah, didn't think so.
Yeah. Again,
we lost to the Lakers. Gosh damn it! Anyway,
Austin Reeves only played 2 games. Luka didn't play at all.
bro,
I don't care nothing about the injuries we had. We won 2 games with them same injuries, though, didn't we? Or were they magically healthy? Them 2 games we won.
Is Fred?
We played different than them 2 games we won, and then Ime Udoka went back in this little shell, went back to that boring broccoli ball that he likes to play, where everybody's just playing scared, playing hesitant. Everybody playing not to lose instead of playing to win, avoiding the floor instead of finding the ceiling. It's the Ime Udoka way. That's kind of where we went wrong in the playoffs, but we're gonna touch that. Middle of the season, Adams goes down. Then what? What were your thoughts when Steven Adams went down?
So don't get me wrong, and I mean this with all respect. I love Steve Adams. I think he's great. He's too much of a crutch for Ime Udoka. Okay. When he went down, I was like, okay, Ime, now what? Now what are you going to do? You lost Fred all season, and you have sucked ass at trying to put people in their spots. You lost Adams, one of the statistically greatest rebounders in the last 2 years. Off the wall, all-time stats. Okay. What are you going to do? What is your response? Oh, I'm going to go ahead and start Josh Okogie and keep Reed Sheppard on the bench. Oh, okay. All right.
When what we need was offense. Okay.
Cool. Don't get me wrong. I like Josh Okogie. I really do. He was worth every penny this offseason. I appreciate it.
He was a good signing.
Okay? He was great.
He was what we was hoping DFS was going to be.
Hey, I was getting there. I'm not gonna lie. So you want Şengün to now not just be Şengün, right? He's already having a problem making shots in the paint, right? One of the worst rim touches in the league for a big man.
Pause.
Not just to be Şengün, but you also want him to be Steven Adams and fight for rebounds constantly and get 15 rebounds a game and get 8 assists every game and get 20 points every game. With running, when no offense to Eason, he was having a really, really bad shooting time when Adams went down to, shooting 12% and 27% for a back-to-back month. Just absolutely horrible.
Oh, yeah, that did kind of coincide with when Adams went down. That's true.
But then, so you run in a 12% three-point shooter out there, okay, alongside Şengün, who's a 29% three-point shooter. Amen Thompson, who I don't care what the number says, not a three-point shooter. And then Josh Okogie, those are your lineups. So then you let Kevin Durant and Jabari Smith Jr. taking turns just getting absolutely smothered or forcing them to score 35 points every game just to keep us under 10. That was not a strategy, boy. That was you could have put you could have asked that. Just wasn't a good look, man. This was not a good look. So what I expected him was to, okay, all right, light bulb. Adams is down. Okay, I didn't have him my first season playing with us. Okay, I didn't forget how to play basketball my first season. So Adams is out, Fred VanVleet out. Okay, well, he only played 60 games last year. Okay, how did we play without Adams and Fred VanVleet? That's what I was hoping he would remember. Because when we didn't have Adams and Fred VanVleet, I have to say this, and people are not going to like this. That's when Jalen Green started going off in March. The April, March round when he started, having those 30-point games again. It was almost player of the month. So I was expecting him to use one of our skilled ball handlers in, I don't know, a guy named Reed Sheppard and put him in spots to succeed as an offensive guard because you've been training him all year to not be a point guard, but to be a combo guard in the point guard spot, right? I was expecting that. I was expecting because that for stretches, that Capella and Reed Sheppard pick and roll looked really good. I really did like that, man. I was expecting some of that, right? I was expecting some old Jabari Reed actions, right? You got 2 3-point shooters both shooting 35% plus.
They should be in all type of DHOs with Alperen going.
Instead, no. It, like I said, the adjustment was, hey, let's give DFS more time, man. You know, he coming back from injury, and I'm all about players rehabbing and trying to get better and better themselves. But I thought we was here for a championship, and you sending out a dude who averaged 3 points a game on 9% from the field at this point. Excuse me? And then again, Tarisin, unfortunately, having his woes, right? Just trying to find a shot there too, you know. I did not understand what we were doing, other than unless it was just to play harder. You know, like if that was the strategy, was to just go out there and play harder, which would make sense because that was the strategy all year. Get that rebound.
Can I defend Reed Shepherd real quick?
Go ahead.
I don't know if it's me defending him, but I don't know what happened. But the brother can't. He can't take on the center.
No.
If we shouldn't be having point guards who you can switch a center on to and they can't get past the center.
I agree.
I just don't get how that is the case. Why do we have? What is going on with the Rockets and their development? What's going on with that? Like,
I got something.
What's up?
Reed Shepherd in the playoffs played like rookie Reed Shepherd those first couple months, where he was just terrified to take a shot, to get a turnover, to pass the ball, to do anything, because anytime he did anything wrong his rookie year, what did Ime do? I mean, brother could breathe wrong, and it was here. Come on.
So you saying he was playing scared?
I do think he was playing scared. Absolutely.
All right.
100%, man. And I'm not attributing all of that to that, right? There's got to be something else in there, hopefully, because if his confidence waning that much coming to the playoffs, the lights are brighter there, man. You're not Jared Allen, all right? I need you to step up, not step down. You know.
So there's some narratives that I kind of want to debunk real quick.
Let's do it.
So-called, we had a good offense this season, but that's because people was only looking at the offensive rating. We was ranked 8th in offensive rating, but a lot of that was offensive rebounds. All right. Mm-hmm. So there's that. But at the same time, we so-called can't shoot the ball. We was ranked 10th in 3-point percentage. We so-called can't shoot. Here's one of the things that I was hoping that we was going to do. I thought if we're going to rely so much on offensive rebounds, I would have been all right with just jacking some more threes, bro. I'm not going to lie, because if you confident enough you're going to get the offensive rebound anyway, if you playing for offensive rebounds, man, jack them threes, bro. Jack them threes up. Get them things up there, man. So we can, because if we're going to play so slow, because we was, 29th in pace? Mm-hmm. And we ranked 29th in pace this season. So if you're going to play that slow, at least in the half court, man, you got to try to get the most points you can every time down the court. And that's not what was happening. I'm not really sure what the offensive plan was. There was a time when we were, moving the ball more. Guys are setting off-ball screens, on-ball screens. The ball wasn't sticking. The offense wasn't too stagnant in the half court. We may have still played slow, but it didn't look that bad all the time. But then there's times when other team are making adjustment. He may just start getting scared. Next thing you know, he's going to have Kevin Durant bringing the ball up the court like a point guard. And then we start turning the ball over, which compounds the issue. Because now the other team is getting out on the break. First you playing even slower, and you making the defense not even have to try as hard to go get a double team on KD because he already has the ball. You ain't got to go look for him. You ain't got to wait for him to get the ball. He's right there. And if you want to get the ball out of his hands, just send a double to him, because he's going to go in there right wing. Somebody going to blitz from the other side, on the weak side. He's going to try to pass the ball out of the double team, and it's a pick six like clockwork.
Every time.
Like clockwork. The one game he played in the playoffs against the Lakers, it was the same thing. So Udoka got to eat that. I'm not even blaming KD for that, because why is he constantly being put in that same position when he shouldn't be put in that position.
Why is he put in a position to fail? We watched it all season. It's not like it was a surprise. Like, oh my gosh, KD's got 9 turnovers. This never happened. No, KD had multiple games of 7+ turnovers.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I'm saying that's part of the reason I've been saying all season that I think we left a lot on the bone, a lot of meat on the bone. Yeah, we won 52 games. That easily could have been 60 games, even with the injuries.
I agree.
But we played too scared too many times offensively. Defensively, I had no problem with it. We were ranked 6th in defensive rating this season. That matched the eye test. These boys are dogs defensively. Even when you got Şengün and Reed out there, that's not their best defensive liners, and they're not the best defenders, but they're gonna try. They try to get after it. You know what I'm saying? Udoka is a master at getting maximum effort out of his players. That's one of the reasons why I can't say that he's a bad coach. I just can't. I can't fix my mouth to say that. He just leaves a lot to be desired on offense. As much as he gets the most effort out of players, he doesn't get the most talent out of players. Those two things are mutually exclusive. They're not the same. They don't live together. They're two different things. Mm-hmm. So we got to find a way to try to get more talent out of these guys because they had games sometimes where it's like, damn, why don't we do more of this with this guy? Why don't we do more of this with Şengün? Why don't we do more of this with Amin? Why don't we do more of this with Jabari, Reed Shepherd? Why? Why doesn't this happen more? Or why does it happen for a quarter or for a half and then the other team makes an adjustment and we just can't do nothing no more? That happened too many times through the season. That's why it was so inconsistent up and down. And then we finally hit a groove when we hit that 9-game win streak. And the streak during that time too was a 9-game win streak in there, but I think we lost one game in between that. I think we won like 11 out of 13 or something like 11 out of 12, something like that. It was a nice little streak that we was on, man. I thought we hit a nice little stride. It was cool. And then the playoffs hit.
Bro, we got punched in the mouth, dude.
We wanted the Lakers matchup. Well, most people did. I wanted Denver. I didn't care. I wanted Denver. You know why I wanted Denver? I wanted Denver because I didn't think they were going to be able to make the type of defensive adjustments against the Rockets that would bother us the way that other teams bother Udoka. They didn't have the personnel to pull it off. You know what I'm saying? I felt like we'd be able to defend them well enough, and they wouldn't be able to defend us well enough. And we'd be able to put some points on them, and we'd be able to guard them in key moments in games. So I heard a lot of fans were saying they want the Lakers. All right, we got the Lakers. No Luka, no Reeves for the first 4 games. First 4 games, no Reed, something like that. We go down 0-3. One of them games KD played. I don't care nothing about no excuses about no Fred, no. So you mean to tell me when we win, we don't need a point guard, but when we lose, that's when we need a point guard? I thought y'all told me Amir Thompson and Reed Shepherd was the point guards. I thought this. I mean, that's what I heard. Maybe I heard wrong. Maybe I need to go get my ears checked. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I'm senile. But I was told that them two were supposed to be the point guards, or at least the combo guards. You should be able to run a league average offense with them two young guys. And the way that those two guys play, you should be playing faster than at a 29th place pace offensively. That didn't happen at all. DeAndre Ayton looking dominant, man. Like, you know, grabbing rebounds, playing good defense on Alperen Şengün. He damn near outplayed Alperen Şengün, and that's tough, bro. That's tough because right now he's supposed to be our second best player. Ooh, that's another thing we're gonna touch on. We're gonna touch on that Amin Thompson. People talking about he need to get the max. We're gonna touch that. Anyway, Alperen Şengün left a lot to be desired that series. He missed too many chippies in the paint. I don't get it. I just don't get it. There was one game where they sent doubles to Alperen Şengün. That's when the Rockets was, playing well because that's what he wants. He wants you to go double him because he wants to pass the ball. He's a great passer. That's where he eats. That's where he makes his money. I know some people want him to be this alpha scorer. He's not that. And the more you try to make him that, the less effective and efficient he is. There was something that I was watching throughout the season. You know what I was watching. The top 3 shot takers every game, we couldn't have more than one non-shooter. Almost every time we had more than one non-shooter taking one of the top 3 shots every game, we lost. Yep. Non-shooters. Amen, Shingun, Adams, Capella, Tate. That's 5 non-shooters you got. They be playing regular minutes.
DFS for how bad
DFS is another non-shooter. 6.
Man.
I mean, and DFS was not a person that you would think is a non-shooter. Okay,
he was just bad, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't even blame a lot of the stuff on him. He was hurt.
Yep.
They rushed him back, I believe, or the rehab didn't go well. Whatever it is, Rockets training staff was a problem. Their development is a problem. These are 2 problems that have been consistent with the Rockets for some years now, and people are not talking about it. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're trying to avoid accountability in the fan base and the media not talking about it like they probably should. But the training staff and the development, those are 2 things that's lacking with the Rockets organization right now. Look what happened with KD in the playoffs. Anyway, but anyway, yeah. When KD was hurt, I was like, okay, bet. Now we really gonna see which one of these young guys is who they say, because now this is your opportunity. There's no Ime Udoka here to use KD as a crutch. Go get it, young fella, because at the end of the day, the rebuild isn't about KD. The rebuild is supposed to be about these young guys. We're supposed to be carrying them into the future and hoping we can contend with them. That was the whole reason why it was okay to go get KD, right? Yep. Because if none of these dudes end up being anything that we was hoping, we wasting KD. Mm-hmm. And if we wasting KD, do we keep KD? Do we keep the young guys? Who goes? Does something happen? Does nothing happen? If something happens, what is the something that needs to happen? Which direction do you take if you're taking a direction? Rafael Stone, we need answers.
In the playoffs, there was only one playoff riser. It's kind of funny, and it's the guy that people either dogged on. He got the Jalen treatment, right? When he didn't play like a superstar, and was expected to put up points that he doesn't put up, right? That's just not his role on the team. But he played really well, man. I was really, really proud. Yes, he had a poor game 6, but every other game he was really great.
I had somebody try to tell me his shooting percentage. He only shot 38%. He didn't play well. I'm like, you missing the forest from the trees. You missing the forest from the trees if you judging somebody by that. You wasn't watching. And if you was watching, you didn't know what you was watching. Maybe you thought you was watching the Zookeeper movie or something.
This guy, Jabari Smith Jr., man. I don't really care what anyone got to say about me about a lot of players, man. But Jabari really one of them ones, bro. He tough. Mm-hmm. He play with heart. He always on the court when he need to be up here. Mm-hmm. I just he gives a lot.
Sometimes he be doing some stuff where it's like, hey, bro, you need to know better. Yeah. But for the most part, 90% of the time, 90% of the time, he's all there.
He's what you want from a prototypical 4, mm-hmm. Tall, lanky, that can shoot. Maybe he dribbled a little too much for my liking, but you know what, man? Sometimes it go in, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. And then his defensive tenacity was just absolutely phenomenal. He made a lot of really great defensive plays, and it's funny because people were trying to tell me, Lakers fans, of course, trying to tell me. And some Rockets fans trying to tell me that Jabari was the weak link on defense, excluding Reed Shepherd. Clearly, they watched the game with their eyes closed, blindfolded, and blind.
They was looking for somebody to pick on, and he's the easiest one because he don't have stands to go back him up on the internet.
He also liked to talk, right? They asked him how he felt. He said, "Hey, we hungry, man. We gonna come get that win." Guess what we did? We won 2 straight games.
Yeah, he opened his mouth and he backed it up. He backed it up.
Yeah, thank you. He backed it up. Not just for a stretch, not for 5 minutes. No, he backed it up back-to-back games. He said, "We hungry."
Brother chased down LeBron on a fast break and blocked him.
How often do you see that happen? Hey, I thought Jabari was the weak link. I thought Jabari was the next one to go. I thought Jabari couldn't be in this offense. I thought Jabari couldn't be a Rocket in uniform next season.
If this is how you know that people are not watching with the right lenses, if you're blaming Jabari for the Rockets' problems.
100%.
When you got to blame the role player for the Rockets' problems, you have a problem. Jabari is just a product of whatever the offense is doing around him. He's not going to sit there and take bad shots that's ill-advised. He's going to play within the flow of the offense. Dude took the fourth. He's fourth on the team in shot attempts. 2 non-shooters take more shots than him. 2 non-shooters take more shots than him. You can talk about efficiency all you want, all you like, but a lot of them games we lost a math game, bro. How many games did you look and see we took less than 33s? There was games we took less than 23s.
Bro, I know majority of the season we took less than 32 threes. I think we only averaged like 31.
Hold on, let's look.
Let
me see what the so in attempts per game, we took 31.5.
Huh! Look at that.
That's and that's 25th least. Sorry, 28th.
But we played with heart, man.
We took the 28, and this is part of the problem. A lot of times, a lot of these games that we lost, man, we lost the math game, bro. You in 2026, you gotta give me 36 threes a game. You got to. You just got to, bro. That's just league average. If we would have just took league average, I wouldn't even say we got to take 40 threes a game, bro. Take league average amount of threes, and I promise you, we would have won 60 games. I promise you, bro. Because we just, too many times, we had too many non-shooters on the floor at once, and we shooting late in the shot clock because the paint is packed, because you don't have to guard nobody outside of that. There was a lot of that going on. Some of that even happened in the playoffs too. And you just wonder, like, what part of this is Fred supposed to fix? Because Fred was also inefficient.
Hey, you know what? The issue about forcing shots late, we lost our grenade guy. Hot potato. All right, we can't get anything. All right, Jalen, go ahead. Hot potato.
Well,
Jalen, go ahead.
We got it to KD, but KD was taking twos, like mid-rangers, and he was making them.
My point being is the same problem.
Yeah, right? The problem stuck.
The same problem.
No matter who was on the floor, the same problem stuck.
Yep.
And that was one of my concerns.
Fred VanVleet too.
That was with Fred VanVleet too.
Existed with Fred.
So that was one of my biggest concerns when we got KD. I was like, okay, we getting KD. That means we got to change how we play, right?
Nope,
we didn't.
Nope.
How do you play the same way you got KD? KD is not. This is not OKC KD. This is not even Warriors KD.
But he averaged 50, 40, 88, man. I mean,
that's cool. All that efficiency stuff was cool, but there comes a point of diminishing returns where all that efficiency is actually hurting you. You know what I'm saying? That may sound crazy. If anybody has ever taken macroeconomics, I think it's macro. Is it micro or macro? I don't remember. One of them.
Your macro.
Okay, macroeconomics, there's something called a point of diminishing returns when you hit peak efficiency. Okay, I'm going to give you a good example. When you run your fastest, how easy is it to juke?
Oh, man. Man, when I'm at my max speed, bro, I'm fat, bro. I be tipping over, bro.
Okay.
Watch out.
And if you try to juke, what happens?
I be shifting, man. My whole body. I be tipping over.
Something bad gonna happen.
I gotta slow down, man. I gotta slow down.
You might hurt yourself, or you gonna fall, or something.
I might tear my ACL.
You know what I'm saying? That just happened to my little nephew, by the way.
Oh, man.
Yeah, playing football, flag football. I know. Yeah. But yeah, like, I know people are in love with these advanced analytics and stuff. That's cool. That's cute and nice little talking points. But I think the way that we use the analytics and the way we talk about the analytics needs to change, because you can't just throw out numbers for the sake of throwing out numbers. Here's one of the things that people like to say. Steven Adams was our highest plus minus person. Well, if you think you're gonna get away with playing Steven Adams 30 minutes a game, you're gonna run into a problem because there's gonna come a point of diminishing returns where you got to find that sweet spot where you can get the most out of him. You got to find a sweet spot of minutes, and it's not every minute that he's gonna be optimal. There's points in the game where you can play him more than other points. Certain matchups you can play him against different guys. And then there's a certain type of defense that you can play with him against certain matchups. A lot of that counts. Because you got people talking about he should be starting over Şengün because of net rating. I'm like, you out your damn mind. It don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because somebody got a higher net rating, he should start. That's not how that goes. Net rating to me is more about the rotation and how you fit and how you did in your time in that rotation because there's another team on the floor too. So if you're getting put out there at certain times that benefit you mostly, yeah, you're gonna have a higher net rating. Of course, that's gonna happen.
Can I?
Go ahead. No, I'm good, bro.
So we're talking about like lineups and like efficiency, net rating, right? I wrote an article called "From Hopeful to Hopeless: Your Houston Rockets," right? In that article, I kind of discussed a little bit of like one of Ime Udoka's starting lineups.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was Reed Sheppard, Men Thompson, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., and Şengün, right? In the playoffs, they played 99 minutes, all 6 games, 99 minutes, was a plus 7.1. Mm-hmm. We were winning their minutes, theoretically, by 7.1 points per game the entire time we were out there, okay? In the regular season, how many minutes do you think they played? Because that sounds like a good lineup. Sounds like good net rating. A lot of good players on that team. KD played most of the season, but, he got to sit at some point, right?
That lineup in the regular season, I said they probably played 150 minutes in the regular season.
Okay. In 18 games, that lineup played 60 minutes total. That lineup played 60 minutes over the course of 18 games out of 82 games. Reed Sheppard, Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, Jabari Şengün. Your 5 young guys played 60 minutes, 1 hour, in 18 games. How many minutes are in a game? 48 minutes, right? Yeah.
They played pretty much a game and a half together, bro.
A game and a quarter.
60
minutes.
I'm trying to be nice. I don't know where I got that 150 minutes thing from.
You tried, man.
I tried.
Yeah, that sounds like a good lineup. Theoretically, that's your young guys, the people you're supposed to be trusting right now. The people that you're supposed to say, hey, we're leaning a little bit off the veterans. These are the young guys that we didn't trade away, the ones that we think are going to bring a championship to this city. We traded away the people that we had to give away because Jalen Green, he's just ass. He's so ass he got traded for Kevin Durant. And Dylan Brooks, we had to let him go because, gosh dang it, he was just so good. We got Kevin Durant for him, right? Okay, we played 60 minutes with our young lineup in 18 games last season.
That begs the question. Bro. How many minutes would they have played if Fred was healthy?
0. Not even 0.
What kind of development would we have gotten from Reed Sheppard if Fred was playing? Some of them games that he looked real good, them 30-point games, how many of those would we have had?
Reed isn't touching
healthy Fred.
Reed is not touching more than 22 points in one game at all the entire regular season if everybody plays.
Reed Sheppard averaged 26 minutes a game. How much of that does he average with Fred in the lineup? Reed Sheppard averaged more minutes than Tari Eason. Steven Adams played 22.8 minutes a game. That's too much, first of all. And even in his time, even though he only played a few games, 22 minutes is too much. 18 minutes for Adams is what I'm giving him. We're going to do some lineups with Jabari at the 5 sometimes just to kind of break up the monotony of Steven Adams being the only person to come in for Şengün because now we become too easy to game plan and guard. Like, it's just not. The rotations were another problem during the season, even when we had healthy bodies. So people want to say injuries and this and that in the playoffs. I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't. Rotations was a problem during the season. Ime Udoka is a much better coach to me than he has shown us. He really is, bro. I believe he is in my whole heart of hearts. That's why I'm so hard on him. I believe he's a lot better than what he's shown. I just think he needs to get out of his own head, get out of his own way, and start trusting guys as much as he doesn't want to trust them. You got to give him the opportunity to lose your trust. More like an actual runway, not the whole, hey, man, you make one mistake, I'm going to pull you. Now they're going in the game playing timid.
Or let me piggyback off this. Everyone complained about Reed Shepherd not playing enough minutes in game 2, so you play him 44 minutes and force him to play like ass game 3. Do you remember that?
I remember him playing a game when he had 10 minutes.
Yep. Okay, that's what it was. That was game 2. He played 10 minutes, game 2 off the bench, right? His adjustment for the Lakers was starting Josh Okogie, okay? They ran out that lineup, same lineup, but instead of Reed, it was Josh Okogie. We got our ass beat up and down the court. I mean, it was just straight ass smacking the whole way up, right? And then the front office is like, yeah, we want Reed to play. Ime Udoka immediately after the game is like, hey, man, you know, I'm going to play Reed more. That's the adjustment. And that wasn't the adjustment he was making. He wasn't putting Reed in a place to succeed. He was saying that because every single fan was upset Reed didn't play. He was catching flack. So he said, bet, I'm going to play Reed. And you know what he did? Ran 0 plays for him. He ran a single offensive play for Reed where he could be successful. And then Reed started playing scared in the third quarter. Okay? Because now he's like, oh, man, I'm out here all by myself. You could see the immediate switch.
He was playing tight too, because he started turning the ball over, and he was missing shots that.
Yep.
He was missing like open shots. Like, bro, you Reed Shepherd, bro. You're a better shooter than this, man. Like, you can't let the moment get to you. I don't care what year you are in the league. Butt naked is butt naked.
Yep, 100%.
Let your nuts hang, bro. Shoot that thing with confidence.
And the reason that he acting like this is he got the rookie year conversation. Hey, man, they said, I got to play you, so I need you to go out there and do something. I'm 90% sure that's what that conversation was. Not exactly that verbatim, but that type of conversation. I need you to go show me something. Now he's being asked by his coach to show him something that he won. Ain't got the experience to show you right now.
And now he built in crunch time. Yeah, he gonna melt in crunch time because he didn't have enough reps in crunch time during the season to see what they really feel like. And now you're in the playoffs and the highest pressure cooker of all pressure cookers, and you expecting this man to go out there and play like he been doing it.
You asking him to look like Steph Curry right now.
Ideally, you want that to look good. You want him to look good in those situations. But if you claim that you really trying to develop these guys, you got to do that. You got to get them some chances to fail in the regular season, man. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I tried. This is the fourth quarter now. Let me just go with whoever the hell, Aaron Holiday or
no. I'll quote you better. Because of injuries, we're just calling it a season. Look, we were expecting Fred VanVleet to be healthy, and he isn't. So we just gonna ride this season out and hope for the best. And
can I say something about that, bro?
Absolutely, please.
For all intents and purposes, Fred VanVleet is our franchise player. Let me explain. You built the offense pretty much around him. Let's be honest here. The offense is built around Fred VanVleet. You build the offense around him. You make roster choices around Fred VanVleet. So you're building the roster and the offense around him. Now you're making executive choices considering Fred VanVleet. That's a franchise player, bro. I don't care what nobody's saying. That is how you treat a franchise player. It is.
Fred VanVleet has
franchise Freddie. Call him by his name. Franchise Freddie. That's his name, bro.
He's got so much pull, man. And this dichotomy between Ime and Fred telling the front office what to do is just like mind-boggling, right? How many organizations do you know that are successful allow their coach and top guy to run the team?
I'm gonna also say this too, bro. Ime Udoka has not done anything in his career before he got to the Rockets to just to to be allowed to have this kind of power. That's why he took this job, by the way, because he took the job because he was allowed to have all this. I'm just don't ask me how I know. Just
no, it's a bug.
He took the job because he got the power. Otherwise, he'd have went somewhere. I don't know where else, but he took this role.
He knows.
Because, this franchise Freddy. You better put some respect on his name.
Watch out.
Yeah, but Ime Udoka took this job because he was going to have the type of pull that he does. And publicly, they weren't going to say that he does, but he does. Yeah.
Bro.
Like, he picks the free agents and the trade targets. The front office drafts the pieces, though. That's how that works.
I feel like he got say in the pieces, man. Ahmed Thompson was his guy, bro. I'm not saying that it wasn't
they were in
office's guy, but like that was his.
They were in agreement with that one. They were in an agreement with Ahmed Thompson.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But
you're right.
But the year after that, the Reed Shepard year, he wanted Klingon.
Yep.
Or Castle, but he preferred Klingon. Okay? Remember, he wanted Brook Lopez to come in and play over Alperen Sengun. Let's not forget that. Let's not act like we don't remember that. He wanted Klingon to come in and, but front office didn't want to put that kind of, they want to draft a backup third string center, really, at that, because Adams was still here.
Yep.
At number 3? Was it number 3 or number 2?
Mm-hmm.
2? Number 3? Yeah, number 3. Yeah, he didn't want to do that. they didn't want to do that, so they said, nah, we're really high. Eli Whitus was really high on Reed Shepard because of analytics. Let me tell you something, bro. The analytics crowd, y'all's reputation is hanging on Reed Shepard right now with this Rockets team. Okay? I want y'all to know that. Y'all love all these advanced statistics and all of this and that. Okay, that's cute. You need to show up.
Did you ever watch Game of Zones? Not Game of Thrones, Game of Zones. That little YouTube with all the basketball skits and all that in like 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19 on YouTube.
No, I've heard of it, but I don't think I watched
it. Game of Zones is just basketball version of Game of Thrones. Okay. Mm-hmm. In that, they do when Carmelo Anthony signed with the Rockets. Okay. Remember how that went, right? So Carmelo signs with the Rockets, and they were all analytic guys, right? D'Antoni's supposed to be this analytical guy, right? In the show, kind of breaking it down real quick, they feed this machine all of Carmelo's stats, and it pops out the answer of where Carmelo is going to play best statistically based on advanced stats, how he's going to succeed the most, and where he needs to be at all times. And he will not play outside that role, right? In real life, Carmelo got upset because they wanted to bench him to start Eric Gordon over Carmelo Anthony. Right? That was a huge thing. They wanted to start Trevor Ariza over Carmelo Anthony. Okay? Melo was like, yo, no, I'm not here for this. I'm going to start him. That's what he felt, right? Carmelo Anthony, man, he one of the legends. So they cut him. OKC picks him up, right? The point of the story is that's what they did for Reed. They fed it into whatever, like, hey, these are his stats, man. What's Reed gonna do best? Combo guard, okay. Look like Curry, okay. We go give him the ball, make him shoot half-court threes, half-court grenades, and then hit fadeaways constantly, come off the screen, pin down screen, shoot it, or we're gonna make him ISO constantly. Okay. Defensively, he got good hands. He got Fred VanVleet. He gonna learn from Fred. He'll be all right. That's what they did. They ran with it. Now, all that information given, am I wrong?
No.
Yeah. So, analytics don't mean nothing if you don't have the volume and substance to back it up.
Yeah, them analytics sometimes getting dudes beat, like getting teams beat because you applying it wrong. There's a way to apply it. You can't just be this numbers Nazi the whole time and just say, well, the numbers say this, so this should actually translate to on the court. No, that's not how that works, bro. Different players got different chemistry. They got different skill sets. There's different points in the game. There's matchups. There's emotion that goes into the game. There's adjustments that happen from the other team that the other team got to match. Like, there's so many things that happen in the in-between. You can't just make every move based on the analytics. The analytics are showing you the result of what is happening after the fact. The analytics shouldn't dictate how you coach. You know what I'm saying? You're coaching to win. You're not coaching to be efficient. What you want to do is it's cool to see who is the most efficient. What the analytics should be telling you is how to avoid some of the extreme inefficiencies. Instead of just chasing efficiency, you just kind of want to avoid inefficiency. And then sometimes those inefficiencies help with other efficiencies. I'm gonna give you an example. You may have a guy who doesn't have the highest field goal percentage or whatnot, but this is a guy that's constantly attacking the paint and he's opening things up for everybody else. So you may not be the most efficient scorer, but because of your style of play, you're allowing for other guys to actually be more efficiently themselves, even though you yourself are not that efficient. It's okay. It's a yin and yang. Some things need to happen. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm in a business, bro. So if you know anything about how grocery stores work, a lot of grocery stores, most grocery stores, when they do like markdowns, they don't really mark them down a whole lot. If you look at let's say a grocery store is known for selling their most efficient product, let's say is it's not produce, let's say it's poultry, right? Yep. People buying chicken, that's your most efficient selling product. Well, I'm not going to the grocery store only to buy a bird. I'm gonna go buy other things too. Now, if them other things are all like too expensive, I ain't going there just because I want to buy this cheap chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. No,
that's how that works, bro. Like
exactly what it is.
You can't. Some things just work with each other. There's a term for it in economics. I forgot what the term is. But
a player that was really inefficient, that worked really well and looked nice. John Wall, man. John Wall was inefficient as hell, dude. I mean, he had multiple 39% field goal percentage seasons. Guess what, though? Dude averaged like 11, 12 assists per game, couple seasons in a row.
And he pushed the pace and he forced the issue on offense, right?
He
now,
did
I'm going to give you the contrast to that. Well, it's not necessarily a whole contrast because Fred VanVleet is not necessarily efficient himself, but he's got this high net rating thing going and impact stats and all of this crap. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, he turns the ball over less, which is going to make his net rating go up because he's not turning the ball over. But he's not turning the ball over because he's only trying to make the safe play. And if you're only trying to make the safe play, then you're not breaking or bending the defense.
Nope.
You're just doing what they're allowing, and then that's it. You're not forcing them to make tough decisions. Ain't no team going in the game talking about, man, we got to double Fred VanVleet. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Let him do whatever the hell he wants. If he go off, cute.
And you know what? You right, bro.
You understand?
You 100% right on that, bro. It's clicking.
Yeah, like part of the reason the offense is so boring and Ime Udoka likes him so much is because he doesn't turn the ball over. Yeah, that's cool. Don't turn the ball over. It's not like you out there trying to, be reckless. But if you're not in attack mode, the defense doesn't have anything to fear. And they can just set up their defense any kind of way that they want, knowing that you're not going to play them up out of that because you're not being aggressive.
You not breaking the defense, right?
You're not bro. Look at Russell Westbrook, bro. He got all them damn triple doubles because he was trying to break your back. He wanted to murder you every play, bro.
Dude.
He wanted your soul every play. Man. All them assists that he got, not all of them was the easy pass. Some of them was easy. Some of them was dump off, but he had to make some next level reads too because he forced the defense into some unfavorable positions.
We play in read and react offense instead of forcing the issue.
And that's the thing too. If you're gonna play a read and react offense, you need to be in attack mode. Because
we're not attacking, we scared, bro.
Yeah, like we playing too safe. Mm-hmm. The offense must adjust, bro. I'm hearing stuff about Ben Sullivan might, get some traction in the coaching market. Yeah. He's supposed to be the offensive guy. I don't know how true that is. Supposedly Portland. I don't know about that. but I do know Royal Ivy is the lead assistant. I don't know who we would get to replace Ben Sullivan, but Ime Udoka's on record saying he likes to promote from within. I don't know. Listen, man, you still gotta Astros OGM was the best at the analytics because they applied it properly. They didn't just number Nazi themselves into a corner. But anyway, yeah, coaching staff. Let's go ahead and get into some of the offseason stuff, bro.
Cool. Yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
First things first.
Yep.
And it's not the trade stuff. Amen Thompson, $250 million extension. Nope. Yay or nay?
Nope. Nope. Don't
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Okay. Name me one player that can make $50 million that is that multifaceted. Besides Fred VanVleet.
He was only at 40, so.
My bad.
Nah, I don't know.
Okay. So
not off the top of my head. Let me see hoops height. Let me see, bro. Who got a huge contract and we was all like, that's cute. Like Franz Wagner. Well, he's not. He's multifaceted though.
Yep. I'm not saying he should get paid that much.
He got a stupid number, and I'm not. I wouldn't even pay Amen Thompson that. I'm not paying him Franz Wagner numbers. Nope. No, no. He's not a better player than him.
I'm not paying a dude, and I like him, man. I say this from
we all do. He's hard not to like, but we got to be realistic here, bro.
If my offense is capped at a couple cool dunks a game, and
spoon fed,
yeah, like I can't do that, bro. Bro saying Chet, hey, you know what? Chet actually do a lot of things, man. He rebound. He shoots
Chet threes. Is multifaceted. He could pass too.
Defense.
He got a little passing chops too.
Like, come on, man. Let's be real.
He played hella defense. He can shoot that thing from outside. He can play multiple positions. He got a little handle to him, a little bit he looked a little awkward, but he make it work for him.
Big man, he got him. Like, I don't care, bro.
I'm looking at everybody who's 50 mil plus. Every last one of these dudes got at least an all-star under their belt.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these dudes been in MVP conversations. And a lot of these dudes got championships. Or have been to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, we're not putting them in. See, and the thing is, bro, if you put a contract like that on that man, fan base is gonna turn on him because they're gonna be like, man, he not putting up no $50 million production.
And I don't want.
If I even look at the $40 million people, which one of these guys? Sabonis been an all-star though. OG Anunoby is at 39 and a half.
The Knicks did overpay on that.
And that's an overpay for him.
Yeah.
And he's good.
Yeah.
But they still overpaid for him.
Yeah.
Luka at 45, Jamal Murray at 46, Siakam at 45, Halliburton at 45, Ant at 45. Bro, you gonna pay him more than Ant?
Well, hang on. You gonna pay him more than Tyrese Halliburton? No.
Nah, bro. We gotta be. And I understand the cap goes up. I understand.
I don't give up.
I understand you want to keep the relationships good and tight. But
I'm gonna tell you this. If the party is at 50 million and not budging, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. You at 50 million and not budging? Do you not see your limitations right now? Okay.
Brandon Ingram is at 38. Is he better than Brandon Ingram? Hold on. I got a good one for you. Tyrese Maxey.
Oh, he's not better than Tyrese. No.
He had 37.
I actually think Tyrese is a lot better than Brandon Ingram too. I don't even think they
Tyrese Maxey is a top 5 point guard in the NBA right now.
They're not even in the same tier. And I love Amen Thompson. Tyrese Maxey, don't get me started.
Now you know I'm a Ja guy. I'm sorry, Ja got moved over for Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, that happened.
No, but yeah, like let's be real.
I'm sorry.
You know,
Tyrese Maxey, I'd be so happy when I be watching Tyrese Maxey, bro. I'd be like, man,
is he not fun to watch?
Like,
he's not entertaining.
This is good basketball, bro. Like, why wouldn't I want to watch him every day, bro? He'd be a great Rocket, bro. Now I understand why Daryl Morey wasn't trying to get up off of him. Because the Rockets wanted him back when they was trying to trade James Harden. That's why they didn't trade him to Philly. Anyway, I know a little too much and I be saying stuff. I need to stop.
I think 35 is a perfect number if there is a semblance of a jump shot that will grow. Okay, if they believe that a jump shot will come along, he's a $35 million player as it sits right now.
Jalen Suggs at 35 right now. I'd pay him more than Jalen Suggs. He's better than Jalen Suggs.
He better than Jalen Suggs.
Orlando paid him more than Orlando reached for that though.
Yeah. Jalen Suggs getting,
and they already betrayed him. By the way,
I think Suggs getting overpaid by about $10 million right there.
Yeah,
Amen is a $35 million player.
Probably more than that because
maybe. I'm not going to disagree.
25 would have been my number for Jalen Suggs.
So yeah, 35 for men. Anything over 40, I'm not even answering the phone. You want to negotiate with me, whatever, up to 40? You better have some high hopes, brother.
Yeah.
But like anything like 35, bro, that's it.
All right.
35.
All right, cool. Hopefully we'll see, man. We'll see how they look. And even if they do end up giving them the max, all right, cool. But I gotta see it.
See it, bro.
I see it, I ain't got no problem. You know what I'm saying? I got no problem. I just haven't seen Max. I haven't seen Max production. I haven't. Nothing even close.
Have you seen Max production from any of the young guys that they've drafted, excluding Jalen Green that's not on a different team? Max. You pay him 50. No. All right. Okay. Anyway, continue.
Tari Eason. What happened for Tari?
It's a good question, isn't it? I think I was hard on him. I was like, man, I don't want him making no more than 17. Hard line in the sand. There's wiggle room. But like anything more than what Jabari's making is ridiculous. Jabari making like 25 at the height of his contract.
Mm-hmm. And there was fools talking about Tari should be starting over Jabari. They got egg on their face right now.
Honestly, Mama Eason, don't hurt me. Rockets fanbase, don't hurt me. If we cannot come to an agreement on a contract, we should at least sign and trade to recoup some assets at minimum. Like we should use our brain, and just because we can't reach an agreement here, don't mean we gotta cut all ties and say, all right, go ahead and walk. I don't want to do that.
We're gonna touch that. But we're gonna touch that in a little bit, bro. Because there's more to this.
All right.
I think he ends up just taking the qualifying offer and try to play his way into a contract that he won't. But even if he take the qualifying offer, I think he get moved by the deadline next year if that happens.
But anyway, qualifying offer, yeah,
I think so. Yeah. If he plays well enough, especially.
Oh yeah.
But if he doesn't, he gonna go into the offseason, then we'll see. Mm-hmm. It's a roll over the other dice. Maybe he stay. He want to stay in Houston, but he want to get paid too, and I don't blame him. Get your money, big dog.
Yeah.
All right. So there's been trade chatter. There's been people talking about we're gonna trade KD or we're gonna trade Alperen Sengun for Giannis. They talking about trade KD for Kawhi and all of this rabbit nonsense. What's your thoughts on some of that noise, bro?
Well, okay, when we traded for Kevin Durant, there was still a possibility that Giannis was on the table. Do you remember that? They're like, well, Giannis is disgruntled and we've got another asset. Trade for Giannis.
KD was cheaper. That's why they went with KD.
Of course.
Way cheaper.
And there was still the possibility of pairing those two up last offseason. Not that it was a huge chance. It obviously didn't happen, but there was chatter. There was a couple articles, I remember reading one from Bleacher Report earlier in maybe about August, just like, hey, it's possible. September, hey, you never know. Didn't happen. Cool. This year, Sengun is yet again linked to Giannis, right? Second year in a row. Now, a wise man once told me that once a player get linked to a team, the trade rumors are real. right?
Multiple times. Multiple times.
So, and it's funny because it's the same two players being linked back and forth, right? Remember, all last year it was Kevin Durant's a Rocket, and that started coming out in February around the All-Star break that KD was a Rocket.
The price was just too high.
You know?
It's the same thing with Alperen Sengun right now. The price is way too high.
Yep.
Milwaukee want too much, and they still want too much. They're going to want way too much.
I get it.
But Udoka wants him. Let me tell you.
Yeah. And so, like, do I think it's real? Yeah, I think the Giannis conversation is real. But anything outside of that, I don't think there's any real traction. I mean, they say Donovan Mitchell, but like, what do we give up for Donovan Mitchell, man? Like we don't have anything that I think we would get enough back just from Donovan Mitchell. Not that I'm saying that
we would have to let Reed Shepherd go.
Okay, right.
Because how many small guards you're gonna have in a row? You're gonna have 3 small guards in rotation at once with Fred, Donovan, and Reed. That's not happening.
And you got to let go of one of. I mean, Jabari might be on that table too.
And
I don't know.
And I'm not opposed to trading Jabari neither. I wouldn't do it myself, but I'm not opposed to it. The deal got to make sense.
The deal got to make sense.
Let's say, because if you keep in Sengun, bruh, what we gonna do? I don't think people realize how much Jabari covers for Sengun on defense. I don't think people realize that, bro. I think they just look at some. They watch the game from the box score. They don't watch or some highlights. That's why Adam Silver called y'all on your stupidity and said it's a highlight sport. He insulted y'all's intelligence.
He did say
that. He insulted y'all's intelligence, and he's right.
That,
so, and y'all proving him right. But if you're watching the game, bro, Jabari be working his ass off trying to cover for Sengun sometime, man. There's sometimes I'm just like, yeah, he picked up the foul, but that wasn't his mistake. The mistake happened before the foul got to that point.
Yep.
And that's okay. It's a team. Sengun gonna help your ass out on offense too, Jabari. So make sure you're not getting mad at him talking about play some defense. Hey man, you can't dribble. So you
bro.
Keep your mouth shut. It's a team sport. You scratch his back, he gonna scratch yours too.
Yep.
But nah, Jabari is a good teammate from what I understand. He's a very, very and Alperen Sengun too. Like all these guys, you hear a lot of good stuff from these guys. It's a good bunch of guys from a character standpoint. But we need some talent too. Bring me some bad actors if you got talent. That's why I like Daryl Morey. I hate him, but that's what I liked about him. Can you play? You can? All right, come on down to Houston.
Yeah. Wheeling and dealing.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think the Giannis stuff definitely has legs. The KD stuff doesn't have any legs. That's just a bunch of national media people trying to get their clicks on. Do your thing, buddies. Y'all do your thing. Ain't no heat around that KD trade market. It's just not. It's just a bunch of wishful thinking from a bunch of guys that don't like KD because KD don't like them. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, facts. That's just literally what it is, bro.
Yep.
So there's that. I wouldn't trade any. No, let me not say I wouldn't trade any of them. I'm only trading Alperen Sengun if we're getting a young shot blocking and 3-point shooting big, plus a first or two, plus a plug and play veteran.
I don't know if there's anyone that fits that exact mold.
There is. I'm just not gonna say it out loud. There's a team that fits that mold, bro.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's the Udoka element to it. Udoka wants Udoka guys. And one of the guys ain't necessarily a Udoka guy, even though that person would fit like a glove into what we're trying to do. If we're actually trying to play the way we need to play, if we're trying to really get some wins, and one guy and then the other guy would be nice.
Look good next to Jabari.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna say it. If I'm trading Alperen Sengun, bro, And you telling me I can get? If you telling me I can get Kellel Ware, Tyler Hero, and Off Night, if you telling me I can get them 3,
Ryan is jumping for joy right now, dude.
Reed Shepherd and Albert Shingo can kick rocks.
Ryan is I gotta check on him, make sure his heart's still beating, bro.
I know.
Wow, bro.
But yeah, and like I said, you got Tyler Hero coming in, but he gonna provide the shooting and playmaking that you was hoping Reed Shepherd was gonna provide. Yeah, he gets hurt sometimes here and there, whatever. I don't care, bro. I don't really, unless you just like AD. Like if you're injury prone and you post 30, all right, nah, just leave me alone. But he ain't 30, so come on in. You in your prime. You can shoot the ball. You can play, make. You can handle the ball. You can play with Amen Thompson. Yeah, y'all gonna squash that little beef. Play with Amen Thompson. You telling me that wouldn't be a fire ass backcourt with KD and Jabari and Kellel Ware at the center, who can hit threes and block shots and rebound? You telling me you wouldn't do that? I want you to smell that starting lineup, bro. I'm telling you, if I'm running the Rockets, if Pat Riley is not the GM no more, all right, then they're probably gonna make some move. Not the GM. He ain't the president no more. He's the GM. He ain't the president no more in Miami. I'm gonna see what's up with that. Because listen, you telling me if you was disappointed in this year, that means you expected more than what you got, right? You didn't make any moves. You got all of these assets that you claim that you have. You're not just hoarding these assets just for the hell of it, bro. You're not. That's like them people in COVID that was just getting a bunch of toilet paper. You don't shit that much. You don't need enough veggies. Anyway,
sure.
But you see what I'm saying? Think about it.
I'm not
Tyler Hero, Amen Thompson. You still big. You still got size because Tyler Hero not small.
Man,
Tyler Hero, Amen Thompson, KD, Jabari, Kellel Ware. Lob threat and 3-point shooting everywhere except for Amen. Amen got 4 shooters around him. Now he can get downhill, make plays. And as a matter of fact, that type of a lineup, you're going to see Amen Thompson for who he really is. That's the type of lineup you can get the most out of Amen Thompson in. And that's the type of lineup that's going to get him a max contract.
You know, we kind of had something, not exactly like that, but like semi-similar to that, you know, with Amen Thompson. When you were running Jabari, Tari, Jalen, Cam Whitmore, Amen.
That ain't nothing like what I just described, though.
Man
I'm sorry.
So good, bro.
It ain't nothing like what I just described. You're not old. You know what I'm saying? You're not old. You're going to get faster. You got more decision-making, stronger decision-making, and you got shooting. You're getting back. And then Off Night going to come off the bench. Fred probably will still be on the team. I'll keep Fred. He can be a backup. I'm going to probably flip Off Night at some point during the season. Tari Eason probably going to end up being in that deal. They probably going to want a Tari Eason. All right, cool. You get that, I get this. We all happy. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to do a deal, that'll be the type of a deal. It ain't got to be that particular deal, but that's the type of deal that I want. That's the type of talent I want back. If I got to give up my 2-time All-Star, that's the type of deal I want back. And then a potential Steve Nash kind of guy. Rafael Stone be blowing smoke, dog. That boy said Steve Nash and Steph Curry and all that. Bro, it's the same dude that said Josh Christopher was Drew Holiday.
Where's Josh Christopher now? Just curious.
China.
Yep. Quite literally, actually.
Dude said Dacian Nix was a first round, was a lottery talent. Dacian Nix. Man,
you know, he still believe that because he's on our G League team right now. We traded for him.
Yeah, man. Like, bro, when Stone. Oh, and we can talk about the press conference too. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Let's go ahead. Yeah, I gotta start wrapping it up. Let's do it.
All right. Every time you heard them over-explain themselves, it was BS.
They lying. Yeah, they lying, bro.
When the answer was short, quick, straight to the point, and concise, they was being for real. Everything else was word salad, trying to throw you off the scent. I can smell that rabbit.
So Stone, ex-lawyer, right? He knows how to be extra. He knows how to play to what you want to hear, right? He does a really good job at saying, exactly what you want to hear, not what you should hear, not what you need to hear. He's talking like he knows what you're thinking, but not your thoughts right then and there. He's talking about the thoughts that he put in your mind when they drafted the player. That's what they still talking on, right? It's the same exact talking points. But instead of him being, cocaine Curry now, he Curry and Steve Nash, and he the best of both worlds. Two dudes that come play defense, bro. And we got Reed Shepard out here, like you build him up to be this two-way combo guard. Okay, how many 6'2" two-way combo guards are there ever?
There's been a few. Monte Ellis was one. What's the name? What's the name? Ben Gordon was one.
My fault. Let me be specific. Of Reed's caricature and body type. You can't name me one two-way combo.
Eddie House.
Okay. You got one.
There's a few others. I'm kind of blanking right now. You put me on the spot.
I mean, bro, he got the weight. He got the tenacity, man. Sometimes he tried real hard, bro. I like it.
Yeah, he does try.
But he in a try hard defense anyway. So of course he's gonna try hard. You can't slouch on defense unless you certain people at times, man. But then you got other responsibilities too. You get exceptions to the rule if you got other responsibilities. I get it, man. I get it. But like the Reed don't, and I like Reed, bro. I wrote articles about him being 6th man of the year, bro. I like Reed, bro. I really do like Reed. He lying, bro. Like you said. Okay, better yet, the first conference we had, right? The preseason presser where it was all smiles and happy and all that. When Stone and Ime got up there, man, it was all like, yeah, man, we all about this. And we all about that, trying to get that chip, all that, And then Raphael Stone immediately chimed in and started talking. Once I heard Raphael Stone start talking, I stopped listening. Because I knew he was just cheesing, bro. I knew he was just cheesing, bro. This dude keep talking and talking and talking. When Reed got drafted, what did he say? He gonna be Fred's direct backup. Who was it? Aaron Holiday. I know, bro. You can't trust him, man. Never trust a lawyer, bro. Never trust a career man that can sit there and lie to a court. Never trust him. Never.
I thought he could have answered some of them questions a lot better, man. Like when they asked him if the KD thing was championship or bust, whatever, he didn't play in the playoff. He could have easily just been like, "Hey, look, every season, you would love to win a championship every season, but that's just not how the NBA works. You got to build towards it. We're still taking our lumps right now, but it's definitely something that we hope to achieve. While we still have KD, nobody would have a problem with that."
And what did he say exactly?
Something about no, it wasn't championship or bust. We didn't get KD to win a championship. Okay, bro. You giving these feline ass answers, man? Come on.
Not for real. Like an organization that can't keep it a buck with its community is an organization doomed to fail. Remember when Zion Williamson got hurt? And they didn't say anything about it till that first preseason presser. And I was like, oh yeah, by the way, Zion had surgery on his foot a couple weeks ago. And everyone was like, what? What the hell? Bro, I watched that presser. I was like, excuse me? I was expecting to see Zion, man. The next LeBron, the guy you talked him up to be. Okay, so here we are touting up the next Curry. And dude getting 10 minutes in a playoff game. Yeah, right, bro.
Now I do understand you don't want to sit there and,
yes,
write checks that your players have to go and cash. And I also understand that you got to keep the trade values up. But there's a way to do it and not insult the intelligence of your fan base. There's a way to do that. That's bad PR. Raphael Stone should never speak again, bro. Just send somebody else to do it because you can't speak. You be frustrating everybody when you be talking because we could just punch all kind of holes in what you talking about. Like lawyers, I used to work in family law, bro. I know how lawyers speak. Man, I will bust it on a lawyer anytime. I have frustrated some lawyers because I was like, bro, this don't make sense. That don't make sense. You tried this little technique on me. That ain't gonna work on me. You try to divert the subject of the conversation. No, we're back on this. This is what we talking
about. No, exactly. Yeah.
That's what they be doing. They'll change. You'll ask a question, then they'll re-ask the question. They'll ask you a question in response and then answer that question.
Yep. Yeah, they respond to the question they asked you. And it's a whole nother topic. Now you're talking about cheeseburgers. We talk about basketball, huh?
Nah, bro. So what do you think about pizza? Well, I really like salad. And I like Caesar. I like ranch dressing and blue cheese together mixed.
Pancake sounds really good too. What do you do for dinner?
All right, bro. Hey man, pancakes for dinner ain't bad if you trying to up your carbs.
At the end of the day, that's just how I'm trying to sell it.
Know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Anything else we haven't touched on? We could touch the draft later.
Yeah, bro. I don't even lie. I even looked at the draft at all. I haven't even none of that, bro. Nothing. But matter of fact, there was some. Yeah, bro. Playoffs, man. The way we ended this season was sad, bro. We went out with our tail between our legs, crying for mom. I mean, that was the most piss poor playoff experience I have ever had. And I'm kind of a newer fan. I really started in like 2019 as a Rockets fan. So like losing to Golden State, it was kind of like it's first place I've ever watched in my life, like all the way through. And then I started really watching the game once COVID hit. We lost the Lakers, and then I watched their whole rebuild. So I didn't get to see the rise and fall of the Rockets like career Rockets fans. This was the most pitiful playoff game I have ever seen in my lifetime. Scoring 78 points, not in 1997. No, 2026, dude, to a Luka-less Lakers, man. I mean it's just gross, bro. It's not like LeBron put up 40. He don't put up 40-99 and turn to 2018, bro. No, we got beat by Marcus Smart playing on a minimum contract. We getting beat by Luke Kennard, who our Rockets organization thought, we don't need him, bro. We're not even gonna try to trade for him. We got this. We got Tari Eason and Ben Thompson, man. We gonna bang these threes.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Not getting. So what do you think about not getting any point guard help at the deadline in free agency and restricted free agency? What did you think about that decision?
I think that was a dumb decision. I think when I sit here and think about all the things that gone wrong, right? Outside of coaching, right? Just on the court, mistakes that our players made and how we could have alleviated those constant, same stupid ass mistakes was by getting a competent point guard. Not an all-star. Not a career 10-time all-star. No. A competent point guard. He was making the same mistakes that Phoenix made last year. Constantly, bro. Constantly. Did we get 50 games? Yeah, absolutely, bro. Yep, we got 50 wins, all that, Phoenix made the playoffs too with more injuries than we had. And they got KD this year. And that's not KD's fault. It's the system that your players are playing in and how well that system is ran, how well that system is schemed towards your players. You're not catering your players' skills nor their talents, but instead you're just trying to minimize your deficiencies. That's not a way to play basketball, man. You can't play scared, bro. You can't sit there and go to work and say, man, I'm not going to give it my all, but I'm just not going to give it my worst. I'm going to show up, and I'll be here. Cool. That's why you're out the door tomorrow. That's why you're not getting that promotion. That's why you're breath weak. That's why you don't do nothing. That's why you come home and play video games for 14 hours a day, because you ain't going nowhere. It's not going nowhere unless you make changes, dude.
So do you believe that the offense is going to change some next season?
It has to. Otherwise, it's bust. That's it.
Right. Do you believe – so, okay. Do you think that there will be a big move that's made this summer or small moves that's made?
I'll say it like this. Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Alperen Sengun. Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr. That core four cannot return next season if you want to be successful. One has to go. If you want to be a successful team next year, one's got to go. Because two of those players look good on paper and look terrible in crunch time.
That's why I got to disagree with you, bro.
I'm sorry, bro.
If the plan changes, if the scheme changes, they will look a lot better, bro.
I'm not going to say that it won't look better. I'm saying to be successful.
What is success,
You
bro?
brought Kevin Durant here
Okay.
to win this championship, and the domino is gonna fall eventually, either later or sooner. And the longer you push that domino down, I mean, the heavier it gets, man. It's gonna knock down more. I'm not saying to rip off the band-aids. I'm not saying we got to trade for this crazy. You just got to make the right decision at the right time for the right pieces to succeed. I love Shangoon. I like Kevin Durant, man. I got his jersey, bro. I got a Shangoon jersey. I got a Tari jersey. I got a Jabari jersey, man. I bought into the young player experience. If it were up to me, maybe I'll catch flack this, man. I wanted to trade for Kevin Durant, bro. We were not ready to compete at the level they thought we were ready to compete at. They was looking at analytics and said, man, this dude holding everyone down. Yeah, we went out more sad this year than last year. How does that make sense? How did they think that up, man? Offensive scheming is a problem, and he may need to get his head out the ass. That's step one. Step two is making changes to the personnel, to the quality and IQ of players that we have to make smarter, better decisions in the clutch time.
Well, if you don't if you don't believe that these dudes are gonna play up to the Udoka standard, then yes, they should be moved. Period. Because I ain't got time to be dealing with Udoka and him constantly putting everybody in positions to fail. I'd rather him get his guys in and let him play the way he want, the way he expecting, because at that point, there's no one else to blame but you, Udoka. On the flip side, if Udoka adjusts the offensive system some and puts guys in more favorable positions, then you have you can better evaluate the talent that you actually have that could raise, guys' profiles and trade values and stuff if you decide that you want to get off of them. But if you're not going to do that, then let them go somewhere else. Just move them, move off of them.
I hate seeing a player be have their ceiling capped by the pieces around them. You know, if I feel like a player can really hit this ceiling, if they've got X amount of offense around them or X amount of defense around them, and I'm the one hindering them, saying, "Well, I like these guys." Okay, bro, what's liking a player got to do with anything, man? If they're not doing what they brought here to do, then why are they here? That goes for coaching too. If you're not doing what you was brought here to do, AK, you hire someone, you ask him to do landscaping, he not landscaping. What are you doing? Fire. AK, you hire your financial manager to make sure that your finance is stable. Your finance is not stable. What are you doing? Maybe go make some changes here, then make sure that they on the job, right? Go make sure that things are right. But if all roads lead back to that dude, he gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not necessarily even their fault 100%, bro. Because I can't look at this and point at one person and say, "Yep, it's all your fault." 100% always on you, right? Because maybe sometimes, occasionally, a player was put in a position to succeed based on what they had to work with, and it just didn't work out. Okay, I get that, man. But you gotta make decisions, man. And you traded for Kevin Durant. This is the territory that comes with trading for a superstar that's trying to carry you to a championship in the final twilight of that year, man. Because come next season, we having the same conversation. Is KD here?
Yeah, if we're having the same
You know,
conversations next year, hey, heads got to roll.
You know what I'm saying?
Heads got to roll, bro. Matter of fact, if we having the same conversations next year, Stone and Udoka need to count their days. Now, Stone ain't going nowhere, and Udoka is here as long as he want to be. But the waters is going to start heating up.
There you go.
It's going to take that for something to change.
If I watch another 82 games, okay. Matter of fact, maybe it's too soon, bro. Come February next year, and we sitting here.
Breaking news.
Go ahead.
Steve Kerr actually signs a new 2-year extension.
Yeah.
How does this affect the Rockets?
He signed an extension with the Warriors. I mean, man, they still good, bro. I'm not.
Okay, now you can start talking about some Kevin Durant trade to Golden State,
bro. Really? Yeah. We'll see, man. Come February next season.
we will see, bro.
We not sitting pretty. We having the same kind of. We've had the same issues since Ime got here, right? Come February, if these issues still persist, we still don't get someone in the offseason to help out and minimize some of these issues, bro. Bro, I'm so still pissed off about that playoff game, man. I almost cried. I watched us put up 37 points at the half, bro. I went to bed like that Family Guy meme, bro, when Stewie rolled over and he started crying in his sleep, man. That's how I felt, bro. It was bad, man. And then I had to get up 2 hours later because I stayed up late as hell to watch that shit show, bro. And then I had to work 14 hours. Bro, y'all piss me off, man. It's supposed to be our team. It's supposed to be running the West. What happened to that? No. We stayed the same. Everybody got better. That's crazy, bro. Crazy, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. We'll see. We will have conversations through the summer, through the offseason, and through the NBA playoffs. I'm probably going to do some NBA playoff stuff. I'll probably do some NBA playoff videos or whatever, man. So y'all stay tuned to that. Anyway, man, tell them people where they can find you, dog.
If you see this right here, over to my left, it says drip2piece_GAWD. You can follow me on Instagram as well as YouTube and TikTok, man. I'm all over the place. Check out the Twitch too, same thing. And follow H-Town Rundown at the HTRD on Next as well as Instagram, YouTube. And check out the htownrundown.org website, man. I post articles occasionally up there. I'm cool. But that's that.
Already, man. It's your man's AK Infinity. Follow me on Twitter /X at AK Infinity_VVS. Also on YouTube at the Rockets Propaganda channel and the H-Town Rundown and the Rockets Round Robin. This is off-season propaganda. We're going to get to it a little bit more throughout the off-season. Stick with us and make sure you put your notifications on because we can go live at any time. We might go live at midnight one of these days. Who knows? Oh. Anyway, tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Go follow us on all these avenues. And we out. Put it in